How's my obesity video aged in 12 years? We'll find out later this month on Patreon, where you can also enjoy nearly 300 other exclusives with a new one every single Tuesday. Support The Habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. What's the most popular, most practiced religion in the United States? You might think some branch of Christianity, if you're a total idiot. Because while 21% of Americans say they attend church every weekend, you know what far more Americans are doing every single Sunday, religiously you might say? Watching football. 58% of Americans said they watch more than 2 hours of bone-crunching, CTE-inducing NFL action every single week during the season, while 35% said they watch more than 6 hours a week. More people want to see the work of Goodell than hear the word of God. And for those who kneel at the altar of the hand egg, but never during the anthem, this comes with two big annual traditions. The Super Bowl, of course, and complaining about who's performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. And so it was announced fairly recently that this year's performer would be a guy by the name of Bad Bunny. Now, it's fair that you may never have heard of him. With housing and rent prices being what they are, it's becoming way more affordable to live under a rock. Just in America, he's had 14 top 10 hits, 4 #1 albums. On Spotify, the world's largest music consumption platform, with nearly 700 million monthly users, he was the most streamed artist 3 years in a row, in 2020 to 2022, and was in the top 3 in 2023 and 2024. In fact, he has previously performed at the Super Bowl with Shakira and J-Lo in 2020. But, slight problem, he sings almost entirely in Spanish. So he's some kind of Mexican? They can't get an American? Actually, he's Puerto Rican, a territory of the United States. He is an American citizen. But a number of people, and by people I mean Twitter goofballs, have expressed their displeasure with Mr. Bunny. Under BlackRock orders, the NFL is pissing in America's face with Bad Bunny's demonic drag show for halftime at the Super Bowl. America needs to boycott the NFL now, says Sandy Hook denier Alex Jones. The NFL does not respect fans. They don't respect Americans, says Jason Whitlock, who also claims that they're grooming your kids. The NFL chose America-hating artist Bad Bunny to perform at the halftime show of Super Bowl 60, which is being played in America. You can't make this stuff up. Why are people surprised about this Bad Bunny character doing the halftime show at the upcoming Super Bowl? The NFL has been self-destructing for years. Why would they stop now? Sharing pictures of him in a dress and clips of him saying that he's scared to perform in the US because ICE might raid his shows. So, did the NFL choose Bad Bunny because of how popular he is, his album sales, whatever, or did they choose him because they know there'd be this controversy, which would get people talking? We're like 3 months away from the Super Bowl, and people have been talking about his halftime show for a fucking month so far. The president addressed it, sort of. He said he'd never heard of Bad Bunny and that he doesn't know why they're doing it. 80 million monthly listeners on Spotify. 11% of the entire platform listens to him. That's why. But also, fuck reporters who goad Trump into this. You're not a real journalist if you're asking the President of the United States, "Hey, what you think of Super Bowl performer? His name Bad Bunny, stupid name, right?" Fuck right off. Same with the asshole who asked Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. Mikey, a 53-year-old man with his finger on the pulse of the youth, said he had no idea who he was, but that he's not a good role model for the kids, and he doesn't reach a broad audience. Again, 80 million monthly listeners, and that instead, they should get a real role model, like 5 times divorced Lee Greenwood, who grifts by selling a Bible with the lyrics to his own song in it. Just to compare the numbers, Lee Greenwood has 420, blaze it, thousand monthly listeners. His most popular song on the most popular music platform, God Bless the USA, has 60 million plays. Most of those during your uncle's 4th of July barbecue. Bad Bunny's most popular song has 1.1 billion plays. You are so out of touch you couldn't find your own cock in your underwear if you think Lee Greenwood has a broader appeal than Bad Bunny. But of course, Bad Bunny stoked the flames during his appearance on SNL, saying that if you can't understand him, you have 4 months to learn Spanish. And then later, dressed up as a nun in a sketch where he snuck into a convent to sleep with other nuns. Then he got caught sitting during a rendition of God Bless America at a Yankees game. Gee, I can't understand why religious Americans aren't thrilled about this guy who's trolling the shit out of them. But the Spanish thing. First off, last year's Super Bowl was entirely in English, and people complained that they couldn't understand a word they were saying.
What about the halftime show? Did you like that?
Ah, bro, I couldn't understand a word that was being said, man. I had my volume turned up. I had a bunch of people yelling and screaming at the house, and I really didn't know what was going on, man. I was waiting for Willie Nelson to come out, man, and sing America the Beautiful or something.
Last year's performer was, of course, Kendrick Lamar, who is maybe one of the most intelligible rappers there is. You can understand every fucking word he says. But also, people don't understand lyrics in English either. Every fucking political rally where Born in the USA or Keep on Rockin' in the Free World plays, everyone sings along and bobs their empty heads to songs that are highly critical of America. Keep on Rockin' in the Free World has a line about a woman throwing her baby in the garbage and doing drugs. If you think American Woman is about an American woman, then it doesn't matter what the fuck language the halftime show's in, you won't understand it anyway. But don't worry, there's going to be an alternative for you. Turning Point USA, the organization founded by Charlie Kirk that's seen new life since Charlie lost his, is claiming they are going to put on their own halftime show. They're asking their members what genres they'd like to see featured, including anything in English, classic genre, and worship. Who's going to watch the Turning Point halftime show instead? Asks Kevin Sorbo. This'll be more watched than the Super Bowl halftime show. Calling it right now, says mouthpiece Matt Van Swole. You know, Matt Walsh once said something about this when it came to political rallies that fits here too, saying, don't try to counter them by parading around a bunch of washed up or obscure entertainers that nobody cares about. That just makes us look sad and irrelevant. Yes, Republicans don't have the most impressive lineup of celebrities. One of their biggest names is Kevin Sorbo. And the ones that are impressive that likely vote Trump, they'd like to do the real halftime show someday. The only way this would even have a chance of getting close to the number of viewers of the Super Bowl, reminding you that Kendrick pulled 120 million viewers, is if they get Jelly Roll and Morgan Wallen, who probably would have been safer choices for this year's game, but anyway, they aren't going to throw away their careers on this bullshit. So instead, they're going to get Kid Rock and Lee Greenwood, and maybe Tom McDonald, and be a fucking laughingstock. The Puppy Bowl will get more views. More people are going to tune in to watch a black lab, DEI hire, shit on the field than watch whoever the fuck Erica Kirk can convince to show up. Although, if Charlie's funeral was any indication, at least we know the pyro will be good. But anyway, I feel like this needs to be said every single year. The Super Bowl halftime show is not for football fans. You're going to watch anyway. The 3 hours it takes them to play the game, the 2 hours of pre-game analysis, and the hour of post-game interviews. That is for you. That 6 hours is your entertainment. The 15 minutes where they trot a pop artist out, that's for your girlfriend and wife, your friends and co-workers who showed up to your party that don't give a fuck about football and just came to see the funny commercials and to drink your beer and make superb owl jokes. It's to draw a younger audience in that they hope might stick around and watch some football and go, oh, this is kind of cool, maybe I'll start watching this. Oh, this is the last game of the year? Maybe next time then. And it's been this way for decades. Strap on your hearing aids and get your 3 heaping teaspoons of Metamucil ready, because you want to know how long ago the Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson halftime show was? It was 21 years ago. New Kids on the Block performed 34 years ago. Diana Ross was the headliner in 1996. When I think football fans, yeah, I think people who love New Kids on the Block and Diana Ross. Aside from a few years where they played it safe after the nip slip and got a bunch of old rockers to perform, it's never been for you, the 58% of Americans who watch every week. It's for the 42% who don't. But keep spreading those fake posts. Elon Musk's pulling his $40 million sponsorship. Coca-Cola's ending their sponsorship if Bad Bunny performs. Kid Rock is going to replace Bad Bunny. Bon Jovi's gonna replace Bad Bunny. People will believe anything but the truth, which is that you're already a heathen for watching the Super Bowl anyway. Slothful behavior for 6 hours on a Sunday, worshipping false idols brought to you by the greedy alcohol, gambling, and gluttony promoters, with the occasional shots of some cheerleaders to lust over to balance out the homoerotic nature of tight ends, the tush push, and men putting their hands on other men's taints before the snap. Yeah, changing the channel for 15 minutes while Bad Bunny is on. That'll save ya.